Hello everyone. Today I Rajat Dikshit from Bennett University is gonna talk about closure property used in CFLs. CFLs are context-free languages. So in this video, the context-free languages are generated from the context-free grammar. Many properties are applied on context-free grammar. Context-free languages have many applications in the programming world. Many arithmetic formulas and operations are built from context-free grammar. Closure properties are also applied on context-free languages. So these are the following types of closure properties. Types of closure properties. We have like five main types of closure properties. The union, which is represented by a U-shaped symbol, like L1 U-shaped symbol and L2. We have concatenation, which is represented by the dot L1 dot L2, where L1 and L2 are two normal languages. Then we have clean closure. Clean closure is represented by star symbol like L1 star. Then we have the non-closed, that are intersection, which is represented by an N-shaped symbol like L1 symbol L2. And we have the last one, which is complementation, which is represented by prime, like L1 is a normal language and L complement would be L prime. So today we are going to talk about the closure properties of CFL, the context-free languages. Closure properties are five parts: union, concatenation, clean closure, intersection, and complement. In union, concatenation, clean closure, the CFLs are closed, whereas in intersection and complement, they are not closed. So we are going to discuss each and every property in detail. The first part is closed under union. So if L1 and L2 are two CFLs, context-free languages, then the union of L1 union L2 will also be a CFL. So the proof of union: L1 is a context-free languages with G1, B1, sigma, P1 and S1, where L1 is the language, G1 is the equivalent grammar used in the language, B1 is the variable in G1 to generate the L1, sigma is the input symbol used in the language, P1 is the production rule which changes with sigma, S1 is the star symbol used in the language. So we will discuss union. Now L1 is language 1 and L2 is language 2, with L1 having G1, V1, sigma, P1, S1, L2 having G2, V2, sigma, P2 and S2. So the CFG production rule in this case is A belongs to alpha, sorry, A is to alpha, A belongs to alpha, and alpha belongs to V union T star. Star is closure. So G1 union G2, we are union grammar. So the new G is equal to V1 V2, sigma was common, P1 P2 and S, the new star symbol formed with the union of S1 and S2. But as we can see, all is closed under a bracket, hence the two languages are closed under a union. The next part that we are going to discuss is closed under concatenations. The rule is L1 dot L2. L1 having G1 and L2 having G2 are two languages. So when we concatenate them, L1 dot L2 gives us a new G, which is V1 sigma P and S. P is all production rule used in G1 and G2 to form the new G for the concatenation. S is the S1 dot S2 concatenate. Now G1 equal to S1, which is A capital A and A small a. This is the production rule used in. Now G2 is S2 B and capital B and capital B is to B. Now the new S, the star symbol is equal to S1 dot S2, which is A square S2, and as we can see S2 is B, B and B. So 2B combined to form a B square. So S is equal to A square B square, which is L1 dot L2. Hence concatenation is proved and it is closed. Now we are going to talk about the clean closure. The clean closure has a symbol raised to power star, which defines the property L1 equal to G1, V1, sigma, P1 and S1. If L1 is a CFL, then L1 star is also a CFL. G equal to V, V1 union S, sigma, P and S. The brackets star rule is as the new star symbol. P equal to P1 union S, which belongs to S and S1, the new S and the S1 used in the language 1. This is the production rule of clean closure. So L, the new grammar, is equal to L G1 closure. Example: L1 is a CFL context free language. L1 equal to A raised to power n, B raised to power n, where n is greater than equal to 0, and S1 is A S1B and sigma. Then L equal to L1 star is equal to AN BN, where n belongs to greater than equal to 0 is also a CFL because S is equal to S1S. Now we're going to talk about intersection. Till now we have talked about the properties in which CFLs are closed. Now we are going to talk about the properties in which they are not closed. Intersection is divided by an N shaped symbol. So if L1 and L2 are two CFLs, but L1 intersection L2 is not a CFL. Example: L1 is equal to AN, BN, CM, where n belongs to greater than equal to 0 and m is greater than equal to 0. Similarly, L2 is the language in which A raised to power m, B raised to power n, C raised to power n, in which n is greater than equal to 0 and m is greater than equal to 0. Both are individually CFL. Now we will do the intersection, forming a new language which is L3. L3 equal to L1 intersection N2, forming A raised to power n, B raised to power n, C raised to power n, where n is greater than equal to 0. L3 is not a CFL because push down automata PDA can handle only one dependency, and here we had two dependencies converting into one dependency. So hence L3 is not a CFL. Now we're gonna talk about the last property, which is complementation. This is represented by L prime. So we take L1 and L2, which are two individual CFLs, but L1 prime is not a context-free language. We're gonna prove this by L1 intersection L2 is equal to bar of L1 union L2. We can see a contradiction as bar of L1 union L2 is a CFL individually. L1 prime union L2 prime is also a CFL, but we have proved earlier that during the part of intersection that L1 intersection L2 is not a CFL. So hence there is a contradiction. So complementation is also forms a not closed closure property for the CFLs.